Dad, are you crying?
Who is your daddy? Who is your daddy and what does he do?
I am your father.
Welcome back to Two Dads, One Sippy Cup. We are here. We are ready. We did Lizzo last night. We did it, and you did. I was in bed at 9:30. You were about damn timing about 9:30. How exciting was it for you?
So for me personally, it wasn't that exciting. I enjoy some of Lizzo's songs, especially like in concert, right?
Yeah, no,
The whole
like when
vibe,
crowd's,
like
going crazy.
yeah. So that was nice, and a lot of the songs were good, and she was awesome. Like she put on a good show.
Yeah. I bet.
If it wasn't on a Monday night, I would have been able to enjoy myself a little more.
Right.
Like
Where was it?
MSG. So
Shit.
I didn't even have to like go outside in terms of I took the train and I got there.
Nice.
So that was like nice.
How long did you have to?
But-
This is just a stupid question, but how long did you have to wait? Like when the concert ended, how long was your wait from like concert end to like getting on the train? Did it work
So-
out perfectly.
We didn't stay for the encore
Gotcha.
because that would have added another 20 minutes to the train time, and then it would have been like if we didn't make that train, it would have been another 40 minutes.
Gotcha.
I would have stayed. It was up to Nicole. As much as she loved it too. Like it was a Monday night.
Right.
When- She gets up at like 4:30. Like she's
That's
tired.
insane, man.
When she works out in the morning, she wakes up at 4:30
That's wild.
or 4:25, I think.
I haven't had an alarm clock on in like a long time. It sounds so like.
Yeah. Well, so the worst part of the concert was getting home at 12 o'clock and Michael waking up at 12:30.
Oh really? Why?
That was
Just because like
yeah,
you guys
that-
are being loud.
No, he's just been having a couple bad nights. And like just crying all night.
Huh.
And it was like really bad timing because now we're like super dead. Like Nicole's dead, I'm dead. I haven't even eaten yet.
You haven't eaten dinner?
I'm hungry. No, I'm hungry.
What are you gonna have for dinner?
I told Nicole to make me some chicken nuggets.
Nice. That's dope.
She didn't eat lunch, so when she came home from school, she just like ate her lunch.
Right.
So
right.
she's like she's not gonna eat. So I'm just here like fat and hungry and tired and had to deal with Michael being sick today, so that was fun.
So how does that go? Like when they get pink eye, like what's the plan?
Well, so supposedly it's not pink eye. I'll explain. This morning, so last night I noticed when I was in Michael's room, I was holding him, he was like rubbing his eye like the whole time. So this morning it kind of looked like his eyelash was up, like a couple eyelashes were like up,
Right.
And so I tried to like wet a paper towel with like warm water and like wipe his eye. It
Yeah.
didn't help, but it was like fine. So I just took him to daycare. And on Tuesday, my wife works late, so I picked him up. And I pick him up, and he has so much shit on his eye, like it looks obviously like pink eye. There's like it looks like boogers all over coming out of his eyeball.
Right.
And I'm like, well, and the daycare woman, she's like, oh, Michael, you got something in your eye. I'm like, it's gushing out of his eye right now, like gushing. And I'm like, okay. So I don't say nothing because, like, dude, if you get sick, you can't send your kid. Like, Nicole's off tomorrow,
Right.
which is nice, but like, it's like a whole thing. Obviously, you can't just send them to daycare with all these sick kids.
Yeah.
And obviously,
it's so
pink eye is
frustrating.
super contagious.
Oh, it is. I was gonna ask that because you sent a text to me saying like, "Am I gonna get this?" So like, you
Yeah,
think
so-
if it was what was the culmination here?
So we did a virtual video chat with the doctor at 6:45. She said, "Does he have any other symptoms, like cold symptoms?" I said, yeah, he's had a little bit of a runny nose and he's coughing like at night in his crib. And she's like, okay, so it's a cold, and that's just one way that his congestion is coming out.
Oh, interesting. So I
Because
guess
he does
yeah.
his eyeballs, like his eyeballs aren't like red.
Okay. It's just like gunky.
She's like, yeah, she's like, if his eyes aren't red, it's not pink eye.
Kids are like unfathomably disgusting. Like when they
Yeah,
have
and
those boogers like
picture,
stuck on themselves, I'm just like, oh, dude, I'm like ripping it out of his nose. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like,
yeah. Now, has Chenzo been sick often, or?
not. I mean, like, not really, because he doesn't go to daycare, so it's like we don't get like,
Yeah, that's what I'm
yeah,
saying. Like, you don't get like Michael is actually sick like every. So everything with Michael is like the extreme. Like, oh, he's teething. Okay, that'll be anywhere from like 2 to like 15 days. He's always 15 days.
right,
Like whatever the most extreme case of something is, he does it
right.
every time. Like, oh, it's a sleep regression. It's only a couple days, couple nights. No, it's like 2 full weeks.
It's like top of the standard deviation. Like,
Yeah. So when he's sick, he's like sick forever. And then he'll be like fine for like 1 week. We'll be like, yes, we're good. And then he just gets sick again.
that's crazy.
Because daycare is just what happens, you know? Like
Everybody's just sick all the time. Yeah. Especially
yeah,
like
so
kids
if
coming
one
in
kid
and
gets
out.
sick,
Yeah.
yeah, it's horrible. I guess we say this, right? We're like, "Oh, it's good for them, their immune system." But like, okay, like everyone gets sick in their whole life like forever. So
Yeah, like
like
I'm literally sick right now. Like just because I got sick fucking last year doesn't mean I'm not sick today. Like what the fuck?
yeah. So Nicole was like, "What happens if you get pink eye?" Cuz my friend Nick, who I sit next to like every day, is getting married Saturday.
So you were thinking maybe
She's like, "You can't go to work if you get pink eye." And I'm like, "Why?" She's like, "If you give Nick pink eye on his wedding, he'll never forgive you."
that's pretty funny actually.
But so I don't know. Apparently, we don't have pink eye around here.
So that's good. Yeah, I
The
mean,
doctor did prescribe like so there's two options. There's eye drops and there's a cream that you like rub on the eyelids. I was like, "Well," she's like, "You want the lotion? It's easier." I was like, "Well, is it like the same like effectiveness,
yeah,
because I'll deal with it if I have to do the fucking drops." She's like, "No, it's just same." I was like, "Okay, then definitely cream because
right, right.
I'm not sitting there opening my son's freaking eyeball to like he'll punch me. He would punch me.
That's crazy. No, yeah, like I mean,
One thing.
how do you give kids like these medicines? Like I remember that when I was like, and this is like obviously not our kids' ages, but like the white medicine, man. Do they still give that out these days? Like,
So actually, Michael is like really good at taking medicine. He like likes it.
oh really?
I don't know why, but that's because like from such a young age, he was on that the acid reflux
Oh
stuff
yeah,
like twice a day. So it was like normal to
yeah.
him
Right, right.
to be on something. So and like Tylenol and that shit. Oh man, he loves it. Like if he finds like an empty like syringe, he like tries to like eat it. Like he's like,
The
it's the
Tylenol
best
tastes
thing
pretty
ever.
fire.
Yeah, well, it's sweet, but
Every time I give it to Vincent, I suck out the little bit at the end of the
oh, to get a little
yeah,
high.
I get a little a Tylenol high.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
You know, so speaking of Michael, like if I did that, he'd punch me. I guess this is a good parent TikTok, not TikTok, parent TikTok. I was gonna say a good parent topic for our audience. Michael has been just hitting children
Really?
like in the face.
Oh boy.
He'll just go up to them and slap them.
Like open so open hand.
Yeah, but a bunch of times, like pow 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 pow,
Okay.
and and it's always to kids like smaller than him, and it's like really awkward.
Right.
like besides the parenting aspect of it, like
Yeah,
it's awkward. Like you'll be
let's
in
talk about like
public.
that aspect of it for a minute. Like, how do you like? Where is this happening? Or just
At a
everywhere?
park
Okay.
with his cousin, like Jimmy's baby. We took him to this fireman museum, and like this kid was just playing with a truck, and Mikey just walked up to him and slapped him in the face.
Holy shit.
And the kid like left. The kid was like, "I'm out. Like I can't be here. This kid's gonna fuck me up. I'm out of here."
So like, what happens in situations like that? Like, do you have to talk to the parents? Like, is it like, or just like,
So
not
some
really?
parents, like for instance, the woman at the fireman thing was like, she ignored it completely, and then her kid like went up to her. He was a little older than Mikey, but he was smaller than him. Um, and he was like, saying he wanted to go somewhere else. She's like, and he was like rubbing his eye because maybe he likes, got
Gotcha.
him in the eye.
Yeah.
And we were like, "Oh, we're sorry." She's like, "No, like I don't know. My son started randomly like getting aggressive with kids too." Um, so some people get it,
Right.
and then I mean, it's never been a situation where someone's like ever said anything to me
Right. I can't
or
imagine they would, right? I
Nicole.
mean, like he's literally a toddler. Like you can't tell him like.
Yeah, well, we
Well,
have to tell him like
so
we
how does that go?
stop him
Like,
and we're like, we kind of like grab him and we're like, Michael, like you got to do nice, buddy, like soft. You got to do nice. You can't do that, and he doesn't listen. But it's all
yeah, right. Like it's like you tell them
stuff
that, but it's like,
because realistically, right? Like if I'm at a park and you could say something to me like, "Hey, like just watch your kid." Okay. But like I have a feeling it would never be
that nice.
a calm situation.
Right.
If somebody's going to get to the point of saying something, I feel like it wouldn't be like nice.
Because I think the thing is
And
if like they have to say something. Well, the thing is if somebody has to say something to you, that means you're not paying enough attention to your kid. Like you like right because like if your
true.
kid's
So
hitting somebody,
that's never the case. Like
right?
if Mikey's like on top and the second he gets near a kid, we get closer because we kind of
You know it's gonna happen
are
now.
understanding of what could happen. Um it's not like he's like tackling and like pummeling them. He just thinks it's funny to like slap you in the face.
Right.
And that could be my own fault for being rough with him myself, you know.
Right.
Cuz like I like let him kick me in the face and like pretend it like kills me and he laughs. Like
Yeah, and I think we all do that though, right?
um
Like I always let Vincent like hit me in the face, and I go, oh, and like he thinks it's so
yeah.
funny. You know what I mean? Like so it's like
Yeah, and then it's not funny when he's punching a kid at the park and they have to
right.
like leave cuz they're upset. Um but it's funny because so supposedly he does not do it at daycare,
Okay. Oh, you asked.
which is a good thing. Obviously, they would not like that.
Right. Right.
Um it seems to be like in front of us to get our attention probably.
Interesting.
Like it's getting a reaction from us like all up in his face. So he probably likes that. And he only does it to kids smaller than him.
Well, that's he's showing signs of intelligence at least. Like you know.
But so his thing is he likes to play with older kids like my neighbors.
Right.
There's a kid in 6th grade and like 4th grade or whatever he's in.
Okay.
And in general, he always gravitates towards older kids, and they'll tackle him, and he can play rough, and it's not bad. So I don't know, like his cousin Quinn, who's taller than him, he's like a little more timid with her.
Okay.
But like Jimmy's baby, who's Chenzo's age, he bullies the shit out of her, like
Really?
steals her snacks, like punches her, like it's bad.
That's crazy.
And it's funny because like she'll come and he'll like hug her and kiss her.
right.
Like he's not being malicious. He's
No,
like
of
thinks
course
it's
not,
funny.
dude. Yeah, like you can't think of it like that. And if a
But
parent of the park thinks that, like that's crazy, dude. Like to think like a 2-year-old has like these like thought about
yeah.
like previous intent of like, you know, I'm gonna go to the park today and I'm gonna find a kid that's smaller than me and I'm gonna beat the shit out of him. Like,
And I'm gonna fuck him up
like
and steal his fucking snacks. No, but like you said, in terms of, we have to be on top of it with the parents also, right? Like we have to apologize first, right? Like
because
we
if you
can't just
don't, then it's
like nothing happened.
it's not even like you have to apologize, right? Like you just have to go up to your kid, and be like, "Hey, Michael, like we don't, whatever the way that you like
Well, we
go."
normally engage. We stop Michael, and then we engage like the kid, like, "Oh, I'm so sorry," or like he didn't like whatever we say, you
Right.
know. Oh shit! I think Joe just did it.
Hit 62.
He did it.
Nice.
Fucking bomb.
Are you watching the game?
Yeah. Well, I got the alert that he was up.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, no, I guess I
Dude, the
missed,
person.
missed history.
So yeah. Sorry. Oh, listen, we just got our reaction, dude. Yeah, and we were together on Derek Jeter's
We
3000th
were, yeah.
hit.
So this is big. This is great. I didn't get to hear the call this time, so I'm not super psyched about that. But
Yeah, but the thing is, like now, well, one, obviously this will be everywhere, but you
Right.
can like watch it like this very minute if you wanted to.
yeah, I'm like as soon as we're done with the pod, I'm gonna get to watch the whole clip. I feel like so it doesn't make a difference, but
Yeah, wow, that was
yeah.
awesome. That was a bomb. But we were talking about Michael slapping kids. Like I said, it's really more about our reaction
Right.
because, like you said, if you're just like letting it go on, like obviously someone's gonna say something
Right,
to
right.
you. And
Yeah,
listen, would
think-
I like it if like
Yeah.
my son was being like quote unquote like bullied at a park? Like no, but like if the parents on top of it, then what are you gonna do?
Right, exactly. I mean, like, yeah, I'm sure there's a breaking point, right? Like, for every parent, but like, I don't know. It feels like when the kids are that young, like, the chances of a situation getting out of hand should be very, very low.
Well, like I said, it's not like he's tackling him and
Right.
pummeling. It's
Yeah.
like he's just slapping you in the face a little, like letting you
I
know
think-
who's boss here.
I think for us, like, that's something that's gonna be really interesting, like, learning how to discipline your kids, because I'm just getting to the stage now where like there are things we have to be like, no, dude, like, what the fuck, like, no, dude, like,
Yeah.
so
And
like it's
really
hard.
bad with Michael because you tell he throws a full blown tantrum over nothing. Nothing.
I don't even know how to discipline. Like at this point, like so the only problem we really have right now is that I don't even know if we're doing this the right way. We will if we put all the food on his tray, right? He throws all of the food all over the place, and then
Yeah,
it's like
it's
unsalvageable.
bad. It's so bad.
So like we can only
Yeah.
put one piece of food on at a time on the tray. Otherwise, it's like I'm cleaning up a mess the whole fucking time, and I just like don't want to do that.
Yeah. No, dinner at my house lately with Mikey has been a disaster. He has been refusing to eat dinner for like 2
Really?
weeks because he only wants to eat certain things.
Yeah, so
And,
like that's the thing I guess we're dealing with is like sometimes he's picky, but most of the time the one issue is like you give him the one piece of food and he just goes like this. He just drops it.
Yeah.
And I pick it up and I go,
Bad.
"No, buddy, food stays on the table." And then he drops it again. And, "No, buddy, food stays on the table." And it's like only so many times I can say that same phrase, and like knowing that he's not understanding me at all, it's just like so irritating.
Yeah, but see, the problem is where I'm at is Michael knows what we're saying,
Right.
and he just doesn't give a shit. He'll look you dead in the face and be like, "Uh-oh." And we're like, dude, that ain't an uh-oh. You did that on purpose. Uh-oh is an accident.
Yeah, like
You know, it's one of those things that he thinks is funny,
Right.
but it's insanely frustrating when, and he's doing it a lot now because he doesn't want to eat anything. He's like, no, fuck this. I'm not eating this. Make me something else. And you can only make so many dinners, right? Like yesterday I made 2.
you made two
Neither
dinners.
of them he wanted. Neither of them.
Really?
And it's like, well, what am I going to do? Just sit here and make 12 fucking dinners? No, you're not eating now. Like,
Yeah, like that's
I'm
sort of the
sorry.
route I always go. Like if he doesn't eat it, like I'll grab like one extra thing, but like I just like I don't have it in me to like you'll eat your bottlenecks, man. Like you get overfed every day. Like you'll be
Well,
all right.
well, that's the problem is like Michael, like this is what he eats. Like this
Right.
is, it would be like you not eating dinner tonight.
Right, right.
Like you're going to be hungry.
Yeah, no, I guess.
So I
that's
don't know.
true,
It's like I also have I'm bad and I probably need to be better about like not giving in to him
Right.
because it just creates bad habits. But like I legitimately like feel like bad, like he's going to sleep hungry. Like I know it's not like a forever and it's whatever, but he's not eating because he's like, I'm not eating this shit. I want something else.
Right,
Like, come
right.
on, man.
So like if you give him the thing that he wants, he eats every time or no?
No, he just wants snacks. He doesn't want to eat. He
Gotcha.
just wants a cookie. He wants to eat fucking yogurt melts. He just he just wants to snack as opposed to eat anymore, which is not good. But it's all because of his understanding of things now. Like he's like, I can say no to something, and then I'm gonna fucking say no.
Right, right. Yeah, exactly.
And on top of the no, it's like he's just throwing the food everywhere, and it's like, well, I don't like this anymore.
Well, I guess that's part of learning too, though, right? Like that's what I was saying to Marissa, because like she gets a little bit more like she gets frustrated very quickly at meal times, where I'm just kind of like, I can say no, buddy. The food stays on the table a lot of fucking times before I'm like, I've had it, and it's different for me though, because like I don't generally have to do a whole day of Vincent. Like I get like a lot of mornings, but like I know that like
Yeah,
I
you
do.
get spurts.
Right. So I'm always like, I'm good for 3 hours, and I'm like on top of it, because like it's easy for me, because I don't have to do like the nap and then again and then the nap and then again. Like it's tough. Like when I understand that, but like I think that's, I don't even know where I was going with this, but like, um, yeah, like I feel like when you have to like when they learn like things like no, like, and then learning like, oh wait a second, if I throw this food on the floor, I don't get it again. Like where do we draw, like, you know what I mean? Like that's what we were trying to look up on the internet yesterday. We were
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
do we
Where do you
just
draw
like
the
not pick it
line of
up?
like
Like
you're gonna starve? Like I
yeah.
don't,
Like I remember
I don't
like
know.
when we first got our dog, this she wouldn't eat. She would only eat if I like put it in my hand and like fed it to her. And we went to the vet, and I was like, dude, she won't eat. She'll only eat out of my hand. And he goes, do you want to feed her out of your hand for the rest of your life? And I was like, not really. And he goes, then just leave the food in a bowl and she'll eat when she's hungry. And I was like, all right, man, I guess. And like I kind of always revert back to that. I'm like, he'll fucking eat. Like he's gonna eat. Like, and that's why I always try to say to Marissa, like, he's gonna fucking eat. Like he just like
I
he
know,
skips
and
some meals sometimes. Like he won't eat the whole thing, and then like other times he'll like eat like fucking a banana, a squash, a fucking like 3 pieces of broccoli and a piece of fucking meatloaf. It's like, what the fuck, like.
yeah, it's hard, and I guess it's like what? It's like selfish to give in, right? Because why am I giving in? Because I don't want to hear him fucking bitch anymore. I don't want to hear him cry that he's hungry and wants a fucking cookie. I'll just give him the cookie.
Right.
but
Yeah,
but that
exactly. It's like,
like literally, bro, today during my lunch, I went to CVS and got a thing of like these biscuit cookies and like yogurt melts and for my car when I pick him up. And Nicole's like, "Why did you do that?" I'm like, "Because I don't want to hear him cry in the car ride home." She's like, "It's 5 minutes." And I'm like, "Yeah, but I don't want to listen to 5 minutes of crying. I don't. I'd rather just keep giving." I gave him 3 cookies on the way home.
is that a lot?
Yeah, the serving size is 1, so.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah,
But
I you
like
know,
I it's selfish, obviously, but like I just can't. It's too much.
you have to maintain your sanity first, right? Like you can't be like withholding sanity from yourself for the sake of learning. Like you can't.
Yeah, especially when it's like I just worked all day and I had to pick him up at 5 o'clock, and the first thing I got to hear is crying. Like I can't do it, and it's for him too. Like I don't want him to be sad, obviously, but like he's just bullshitting me. He doesn't want to be in the car. He's just a bullshit artist, and he I gave him a cookie. He ate it in like half a second, and I was like, holy shit. He goes more, and I'm like, all right, buddy, one more. That's it. Okay. He goes, yeah. Okay. I give him another one. He didn't even take a bite. He goes, more. And I'm like, dude, it's in your hand. More.
There's
I'm
only
like,
so much more we can do.
I'm like, we're almost home, man. Soon. I'll give you dinner when you get home. He eats the second one. More. And then he starts crying. I'm like, Michael, if I give you this third cookie, are you gonna eat dinner? Yeah. You're sure? Yeah. All right, so I gave him the cookie, and then he didn't eat too
I
much
mean,
dinner.
you're negotiating with a 2-year-old, so I mean, you're gonna lose every
And
single time.
and I lost. There's, and that's on me. Like it shouldn't be a negotiation. It should be like, no, just be quiet or cry, and I just gotta drive home.
Right.
Like, so I don't know. There's a line, and I guess I gotta find it.
All right. So time for our Reddit of the week. I got two here. We'll probably go through both if we have enough time. Um, I thought this one was pretty interesting title. I haven't actually read it yet. Um, it's actually not the parenting Reddit. It's it's relationship advice, and it just says husband can't understand sore boobs. It's a little lengthy actually. Now I'm looking, but here we go. I, 29 female, need some advice on how to better communicate something to my husband. I feel silly posting this, but I don't know who to ask, so who better than a bunch of strangers? I want to start off by saying that my husband and I have a fantastic relationship. We've been together for 10 years, and he still makes me feel like he did when we first started dating. I feel like we communicate about issues, but this one I keep getting stuck on how to approach. I am newly pregnant, first trimester, and have been navigating the normal stuff like morning sickness, sore boobs, etc. The pregnancy is our first and was planned. We are both excited about this pregnancy. On to the issue. My boobs are absolutely killing me. None of my bras fit, they hurt to touch, and they're way more sensitive than they've ever been. However, my husband is through and through a boob guy, loves boobs, which normally is fine. However, I don't really like him grabbing them now because they're so sore. I'm resonating with this guy pretty hard right now. He is aware and does try to be gentle, but even sometimes the slightest touch is too much. I've been running into an issue over the past few weeks where he will seemingly forget and grab me. This is something I've always been fine with and welcomed, but when he does this now, I end up gasping or pulling away because it hurts. He always apologizes, seems like he means it, and we move on. But like for me, how many times are you going to forget? This morning he asked how they felt, and I said they felt okay as long as he was gentle, so he grabbed them. It felt fine. I told him, but he squeezed a lot harder, thinking, Jesus Christ. She goes, think mixing bread dough. And I had to move away because of course it hurt. He started pouting, and he said that he was just trying to play. Keep in mind, this was not during sex. This was just in the kitchen. It's pretty funny. And a part of me felt guilty, but at the same time it hurts. Why should I feel guilty? I feel bad enough trying to navigate my body changing without worrying about his feelings, about being able to grab my boobs whenever he pleases. I don't know. This morning it just really got under my skin, and I don't know how to approach the situation. I want to take these feelings into consideration, but I'm the one suffering here. Any advice? I mean, this guy's
Yeah, the advice is
like,
that's it. Like the poor girl feels bad. Like fuck that guy.
Yeah, like fuck this guy. What the fuck? That's crazy. I feel like since Marissa started, well, I don't really remember pregnancy, but because Marissa's still pumping, like there's no boob touching. Like you can't touch them. Very sensitive.
Yeah, and fine, right? And I get it. You can make a couple mistakes, but like enough to where like the girl's like in pain and like running away from you. Like, all right, man.
Yeah, dude. I just feel like there'd be like enough of like a warrant. Like once that first reaction happened, you'd have to be like, oh wait, I'm not gonna do this again, right? Like you can't just keep grabbing her boobs. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, like
sometimes I read these things and I'm like, these people just must be dumb. Like they have to be dumb.
yeah, he says he's sorry. Okay.
Is he though? Like,
is he though? No, he's just gonna try every day.
it seems like he's never gonna stop.
Yeah, no, he's just gonna keep going. He's gonna ask every day, "How are your boobs?" Just say, "That's it, man. My boobs hurt. No more."
Yeah, you don't get to have
Off
my boobs.
limits
That's
to
it.
you.
They're done.
Yeah, sorry, man. Fuck off.
All right, that was a pretty easy one. We'll jump right to the next one. I feel like this one resonates more with the parenting crowd, but we're both out of this phase. But I feel like maybe we can help out a little bit here with new parents. How to deal with the minimal sleep during the newborn phase. So, hey everyone, we welcomed our sweet girl into our lives coming up on 4 weeks ago. My wife and I are sharing duties, so it's a fellow father here, sharing duties during the night. She pumps and I feed, change her diaper. I thought I would be getting used to the sleep schedule by now, but boy was I wrong. Our daughter is actually pretty good during the night. I'm sure as good as I could ask for. She sleeps between 3-hour feedings and eats fairly quickly, but the whole thing takes about an hour, so we are on about 2-hour sleep chunks. Even with our luck, I feel like absolute shit during the day, and at nights can barely keep myself awake to do my duties. I try and get a nap in during the day, but it doesn't seem to help. I was a big sleeper before, so maybe that's why it's so hard. Is there any tricks out there to get through this, or am I just screwed until things change? I'm scared to go back to work in a month since I can't even imagine having to function during the day. Motherfucker, I was back at work like next week. I knew this was gonna be hard, but they don't.
Yo,
Quite...
is this eyebrow higher than this eyebrow?
Mine?
No, for me.
Yes.
Whoa. Just noticed.
Okay.
Well, anyway, there's nothing to tell this guy. Tell this guy to shut up.
It's pretty true though. Like, what do you want me to tell you? You have off for a fucking month, my man. Like, just shut the fuck up and take a nap during the day. That's my
Like,
advice.
it's hard. It's hard, and it will end. When? I don't know. Like,
I just
like
feel like
motherfucker, we had to feed my kid and then sit him upright for 30 minutes so he wouldn't spit it all up.
yeah, like
And
there's
then he
always
wouldn't go to
something
sleep.
harder, right? But like,
So shut up, man. Just you're gonna be tired. It's horrible, okay? But you'll survive. We all survived. So will you.
Yeah, like-
I don't know. I don't know how I went to work. I have no idea. You just do it, and you come home and you do it again.
there's definitely no tricks, right? Like,
know.
there's no trick. Like, besides like making
No
sure
hack.
you time your first sleep up to like when they go down for their first sleep. Otherwise, you're just up at 11.
Yeah.
Like, you can't be going to bed
Yeah,
at 10
it's-
and then they're waking up at 11. Like, that's fucked. That's the worst.
Yeah, and you try different things that work for you and your wife, and
Right.
they all suck, and you just are tired. Okay, it's horrible. I don't know what to tell them other than it's horrible, and you'll get through it.
Yeah, like there's no tip. There's no like, here, man. Like, here's the best plan for you.
Yeah, like at least we don't have to like deal with personally. We have to deal with it other ways. Like the physical trauma that a woman goes through and this.
Yeah, it's not like I'm sitting up at like 3 o'clock in the morning and my asshole's bleeding and I'm up with a baby. You know, like...
Yeah, like it's horrible, man. Okay, but I promise you it could be worse. Yeah,
That's
you could be
pretty
the woman pumping her fucking boobs full of milk that hurt so bad. Yeah, and
funny.
then
Have this guy
still
next
sleeping
to you
just as much
grabbing
as
your
you.
titties.
Yeah, like
I really truly feel
Unbelievable.
like I
Like-
read these things and I think these people are crazy. I'm like, just be better, man. Like, that's my advice. Be better. Be better. Like, I don't even...
well, I look at it as like maybe they're not so much seeking advice as more of like I just gotta say it.
Right.
I just gotta say that this sucks without saying it sucks. Like I would prefer if that person was like, listen, this fucking blows. Anybody got any advice?
Yeah, like
I'm
there's-
in. I'll
there's-
help you.
there's
But
a
to be
Reddit
like,
on dad,
"Ooh, what can I do? Well, fuck you. Nothing.
yeah, like
You
what?
tired?
There's the dad Reddit. It's called Dad It, and like it's mostly that. It's mostly people being like, "Man, my day fucking sucks," and then everybody comments like, "It's
Yeah.
okay, man. Like, it'll get better."
Yeah.
Like,
See
that's
that
what I wanna
I'd be
hear.
supportive of.
Yeah,
Yeah, I want to hear like the real shit. You're not going on Reddit to bullshit. You're going on Reddit to like say some shit you can't tell somebody else.
yeah,
You know?
exactly.
You're going on there to be like, I wanted to punt my kid across the lawn today. That's what you're going there for. You're not going there to be like, hey guys, I'm really tired. And my wife won't let me grab her tits. Can you please help me? Like, fuck you, man. Fuck you.
Holy
Like,
shit.
no. You're not on. You know where you go for shit like that. I'm in this when Nicole was pregnant. You know how girls like all download that app and like it tells you like
Oh yeah. He's the size of potato.
I was that. I was the person. Nicole didn't care for that shit. I did, and I'm still in it. Like February 2021 babies, because he was supposed to be born in February. And like, if you're seeking like real advice, like I've commented on like the blog on there, like February 2021 babies, like, and I've gotten responses and I've responded to people. That's where you go for like,
Real advice.
to like pat you on the back and tell you and like be supportive kind of place. You're not going to Reddit for that shit, man.
Yeah, like don't come crying about your problems. Like you want to come and complain, but don't come and like pose it as like a question. Like we all have like some magical fucking answer on like sleep. Like what?
Yeah.
Like what do you want me to tell you, man? Like that if you store it up in your fucking like what do you like
No.
what could
You
it-
will never sleep again, ever. Sorry.
That's it. Game over. I really want you to watch the Jeffrey Dahmer show because I would really like to do a dad review on Jeffrey Dahmer's dad So I think that should be our goal for before the end of the year. But I think that would be a super ideal dad review. Um,
All right, how many episodes?
it's super long. It's fucking 10, and it's brutal. But when
Yeah,
you
it's not like a show that I can binge. Like I can't
no
be in bed like as I'm like falling asleep watching this motherfucker like eat people or whatever he
no
did.
yeah, it's like takes
Like
a little bit. But I just thought of that because I was about to switch topics to the next thing, and then I remember we used to do
I'll
the dad
get there.
reviews. But when you watch that, we're gonna do so coming soon a dad review on Mr. Dahmer. Um,
Yeah, cool. I'm in.
um, But all right, the last thing we had today for you was we're gonna do a top three of the best case scenario night out without your kid. Like, what are like the things that you are like make the night perfect? So, what would that be for? What do you want to go first? Or want me to go first?
Um, I'll go first
All right.
because of the way you do it. Since we can't have the same fucking list for some reason.
Yeah. No. Yeah. That would make no
Um,
sense.
I guess. I guess for me, and I can use like last night as an example, it really stressed me out to not put Michael to sleep before I left. I tried, it was just too early.
Oh, okay. So you're saying
Because,
going
like,
out after the baby is down is ideal.
I mean, if you're gonna go out at night,
Yeah. Yeah.
yes. Just because he's like he barely lets Nicole put him to sleep.
Right.
Like
Right.
he's very much he needs me to do it.
I would say my top one is in line with time. I think that the time for me has to be that perfect time where like you're going out. For me, I like him. I don't mind. I don't care if he's awake when we go out. I like to go out right at the time when it's like I can have my beer at 5:30, and then we go out for dinner at like we leave the house at 6. So like the timing is like right when he's about to eat his dinner. I want to be leaving, so I'm done like when he's about to go into like the crazy mode of like dealing with
Hmm.
nighttime hours.
So, I mean, now that he sleeps later, it's better. But my second one would be like, I'd probably pick timing of the event. Like, I'd probably prefer to do something during the day than
Oh
at
yeah,
night, or like he's up for a little, then somebody comes and it's like way before his bedtime, but I come home and he's like sleeping.
okay. I was gonna say like that's crazy because like if you go out and do a little day drinking and then you come back and he's awake, like that's definitely not fun. Like,
Well,
but
so
I
I
can see
have
like
to say,
going
like,
out
I
at
don't
2 and
really,
coming home at 7.
yeah, I don't really like drink anymore though.
True.
Uh, and that's not because I don't like it. Um, it just takes like a lot of beer to get me drunk, and I don't like to drink anything else.
True. I was thinking about this the other day, like, and it's not that I don't like drinking anymore because that's obviously not it, but it's that when I do drink, it's like it takes it. I get drunk so fast that like I can't
Chill.
just drink in the middle of the day. Like I can't just like
So we have opposite
yeah.
problems.
Like I can't just be
Yeah,
drunk.
like I
Like I
can't.
get drunk and then I fall asleep now during the day. So like I can't do that.
Yeah. So it's like, what am I gonna do? Sit here and drink fucking 10 beers and like, it's a
Right.
lot.
Yeah. No, that's a lot. That's a lot of beers.
And like, if I'm not like last night, Nicole's like, "Oh, you're gonna have a drink," and I'm like, "For what? I'm gonna pay $12 for a beer when like I need 8 of these to do something to me? like, like, what's
True.
the
Yeah.
point?" I
I
was
guess.
like, "I'll
Yeah.
just have water," because she's like, she had a beer. She had like 2 beers before we left, and then like a vodka cranberry soda.
Right.
And she's like, "Oh, I'll probably feel this after." And I'm like, "Do you know how many I would have to drink of that $25 drink in your hand?"
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
it's just it. I mean, I'm a bigger person, so
Right.
like I get it, but it's just not worth it to me. And what's not worth it is the next day. That's for damn sure.
True. Yeah, I feel like most of my drinking now ends at like 7 p.m. Like if I'm drinking, most of the time ends at 7, unless we're obviously going out for dinner. Then I'll have like a drink or two with dinner. But I guess and I guess my second one would be, oh fuck, I just had it. Would be that when I go out, I like to go somewhere new every time I go out now. Like I don't want to have a
Yeah,
repeat. I don't.
because you,
You don't get to go out anymore, so
yeah.
it's like I like to always go somewhere new because I'm like, I don't want to repeat. Like I've already been there. Like I'm not gonna get to go out. I can only get to go out like fucking 12 times a year now. Like by the time I go back to a place, it could be closed. Like I only want to go one time.
I feel that. I guess my third would be, and it's very rare, but the most ideal thing that could happen is if Michael slept out.
I was gonna wonder if that was gonna be on yours. We've never had that yet. We've never been away from him for a night. Marissa's never been. I've
Uh,
been for trips and stuff, but
it's only happened twice, and it was like after like a wedding or something. And it's nice to be able to sleep, and you might get it when you travel. Like it's nice to be able to sleep and know that you don't have to wake up in the middle of the night. Like not there's not even a chance of it.
right.
Like you don't have to like be alert while sleeping. I don't sleep anymore. I'm a horrible sleeper, and I think it's because I'm
You're like on edge,
sleeping, but I'm also like
waiting.
was that
Every little
Michael?
noise. Yep.
Yeah, and I I it's nice to not have that.
Yeah, I feel that. The thing with my
Like
trips usually is
usually
that
it's
I feel
rare.
tremendous guilt when I'm there. So like I sleep
Yeah,
badly anyway.
so
But like when I went to
I,
your
ha-
house, I
I
slept
have
fine.
I have very bad guilt about leaving Michael to do anything. Like I I haven't been able to find like a good balance of like me as a person versus a dad, you know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
Like I very rarely do anything that takes me away from him because I feel bad, and it's not only feel bad, it's like I want to be there with him.
Well, that's why you feel bad.
It
You know what I mean? Because like
yeah,
you
yeah,
want to be with him, right? Like, but you also want to go to have a couple beers and watch the football game with your friends. You know what I mean? Like you can't have both at the same time sometimes. Like I know what you're saying. Like where you because like
well, I also
yeah.
I also probably use it as an excuse too, right? Like I hate working out, so I haven't worked out in a very long time, and that's part of my excuse is like I want to be with my son.
Right.
But and that is true. Like I don't even do things I want to do. Like why would I do things
I don't want
I'm
to.
rationalizing it.
Yeah.
Why would I do something I don't want to do
Yeah.
instead? Like
Right.
no,
Exactly.
that's not going to happen. So, I don't know. I feel like so to not have that if you get past the guilt part, like to not sleep where your child is and to know that he's safe and all that kind of
Yeah.
shit.
Of course. Yeah.
Um is a nice feeling of like actual relaxation, which
And
is hard to
and like you're
achieve.
saying, it only happens sometimes because like it has to be with family. You know, like it has to be with someone you truly trust. So it's like hard, but yeah. Um.
Well, Michael's done it twice with my in-laws. Like they live down the block.
Right. So he's like right
Not
there. You
even
know
for
you'll see
the
him like in the
idea of something
morning.
could happen. It's like the first like whenever we wanted to go in the morning, it would take 5 minutes to see him or get to him or
Right.
whatever the case. So yeah, other than that, I've only been away from him. Where have I gone? Like it's been rare that
Right.
I've not been with him. So
Yeah. I've
so yeah,
only
what's your
so
third?
my third is fuck. Um. Fuck.
You can do it.
I guess like ideally, I'd like to go out with more than just my wife. It sounds selfish, but um, like in an ideal situation, I'd like to be able to interact with other adults in a scenario where my son is being watched. I have not had that since he's been born, like ever. We haven't
You
been out with
know,
friends.
so me personally, I have been over weddings of late. Like I hate them.
Hmm.
Not all of them, but when it's like someone not super close to you or like you don't care for them, like it's just like or it's the 27th family wedding in a row.
Right.
You know, it could be a lot, but I get it, right? Because it's a lot of those people are parents or older people who one don't see people a lot, but if you're a parent Like, how often are you like going out with a bunch of people you know to drink
Right.
and like party?
Exactly.
Never. So I guess that's why like people love weddings
Right.
for that
Yeah. It's like, and that's probably what
reason.
it is. Like, our friends will come over sometimes, but they leave at 7. Like, they come over at 4 and they leave at 7, and it's like, it's fun and like it's cool, it's nice, but like, there's like a ceiling of fun. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you can only have so much fun. Like, I guess
Yeah,
like what
and I've been in that situation too. If I'm at someone's house and I'm like looking at the clock always, I'm like, fuck, we gotta go. We
I'm
gotta
like you
fucking
with
go.
that too. Like, Marissa complains that I do that. Like, I'm like always like, well, if you do this, then we have to do this with his nap, and she's like, who cares? I'm like, I fucking care. Like, I don't want to deal with
Oh,
craziness.
yeah, it is true. Um, but one thing I will say, and I always seem to forget like every time it's gonna happen, but like they are more resilient than you think.
Right.
Uh, Nicole even said it to me yesterday. Like they adapt, they can handle it, and sometimes they cannot, but sometimes they can.
Right.
And they got if they don't ever change their patterns, they're never going to.
Right. That's true. Yeah. Like, that's the other thing too. Like, we were talking about this the other day. How do we get rid of the sound machine? Like, it's gonna be
Well,
fucking
I don't know why
impossible.
you're so against it.
I
I
just
don't
like don't,
understand.
because I don't want my fucking 7-year-old to be like, I can't sleep without my sound machine. You know what I mean? Like, what if the fucking sound machine breaks? Then we just don't sleep that night.
Dude, like I need noise to sleep. People need that shit, man.
I
So
don't.
what?
I've never slept with that. My, like, I guess the thing is like, I would just always assume like it would go away, but now I'm kind of like, well, when? When does it go away?
No, so Sam, her kid, I'm pretty sure I remember a couple years ago getting or last year getting a Snapchat where like all of a sudden he slept with a noise machine like his whole life and all of a sudden one day he's like, I hate this. Get this out of my room. She's like, what
Really?
the fuck? Where did that come from? So it doesn't matter. I don't
Right.
think you're going to influence him to be like, I need this forever. He's going
Right.
to one day be like, fuck this thing,
Yeah. Like,
get
this
it
is
out.
annoying the shit out of me. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I wouldn't worry about it. You stress about it for some reason. I could care less if he had it for
I
the
guess
rest of
I
his
stress
life.
about it because it's like, you know how you say like you can't sleep because of you're always on alert. Like, I can't sleep with the fucking sound machine. Like, it drives me
Oh, yeah, I need that.
insane.
I literally have like a whole white noise playlist for myself if I sleep somewhere.
No, like, it's on and I'm just like, all I hear like while I'm trying to fall asleep is like the noise, and I'm like, and I just feel like I always hear it. Like, it's always on now, and like it's just
You know, sometimes when I hear white noise, I hear like almost like voices. Like some things being said. Not like a particular voice that I can pin out, but like
right.
sometimes it sounds like words to me.
Yeah.
It's weird.
All right, Jeff Dahmer. Um, all right, then I think that's our episode for the week. That's our top 3.
We're gonna end on you calling me Jeff Dahmer, you
Yeah, I mean,
fucking
that was creepy.
weirdo.
You hear fucking voices in your white noise, like, and you want me to listen to it now? I don't fucking think so. Um, but yeah, so that's our episode for the week. We will catch you next week. And that's really fucking it. So I don't know what else there is to say. I hope you got some good advice from us today. I hope you enjoyed. We will be back. Till next week.
Yes, sir.